something that costs $200, okay? If you don't pay back that $200, next month, you are gonna owe the bank, instead of $200, you're gonna owe them $240. If you don't pay that back, the next month, you're gonna owe the bank $280, for instance. And it's gonna continue getting more and more and more. It's not gonna stop. You can say, but I'm not using the card anymore. The money is still gonna keep increasing because every month the bank is gonna charge you 20% extra of what you already owed. That's how a lot of people get into debts, because they use the credit card and then they don't pay it back, or they only pay the minimum payment. The minimum payment, because the bank always gives you like the minimum that you can pay, that does not even cover the what you used. So let's say, for instance, and pay attention to this, kids, because a lot of adults don't know this. Let's say you use $200 from the credit card, okay? And the bank tells you, oh, you only use $200. The minimum payment is $10. But the bank is going to charge you 20% interest, which would mean that you would have to pay $240. If you only paid $10, have you paid any of the $200 that you used? Again, you used $200, right? And the bank tells you the minimum payment is $10. But next month, the bank is going to charge you $240. If you only pay those $10, have you paid any of the money that you used? Quick math, people.
No.
No. And then you only paid those $10, but the bank is still going to charge you $240. The $10 that you paid did not even come close to the $240. Why? Because every month they charge you seguro, they charge you impuestos sobre el seguro, and not seguro social, seguro as in insurance, okay? And they charge you seguro de fraude and impuestos sobre seguro de fraude. So the $10 that you're paying is not going to touch ever the $240 that you owe. And the following month, the bank is going to add 20% more to that. So that's going to be $48 more. So you're going to owe $288. And so that's the problem with credit cards. If you don't pay back the full amount that you owe, you're going to be paying and paying and paying for many, many years. And the money is just going to keep getting more and more and more and more. It's never going to be less. That's one of the reasons why during the pandemic, a lot of people had to tell the bank, okay, we're not going to use the credit cards anymore. And they thought that that was it. And they didn't realize that they didn't cancel the credit card. And so the amount of money that they owe the bank is still accumulating and getting more and more and more. I heard of a woman who now found out that she owes the bank $11,000. And it was something that before the pandemic, it was only like $2,000 or $3,000. But since she hasn't paid anything, it just keeps getting more and more and more. Do you understand this? Okay, so if you understand this, people, why do so many people use the credit card to buy? Why do you think they do that? Because if you go to the mall, you go to the store, you're going to see everybody paying with their credit cards. Why do people do this?
In my opinion,
They don't have cash.
Okay, Diego says they don't have cash. What were you saying, Daniel?
that they think that have everything under control.
Mm-hmm. What else? People, if you have to use your credit card every time, it means exactly what Daniel says. You do not have anything under control. It looks like it's so cool to use your credit card, but it isn't. Credit card should be something that's like a plan C. the best thing to do would be the next option. Debit cards. Everybody knows what a debit card is, right? Tarjeta clave. You've heard of tarjeta clave? No? Your parents don't have a tarjeta clave? Yes, they do. They just don't show it to you. A debit card is different from a credit card. The credit card is the bank's money. The debit card is your money. It's the card that people use. It's usually, if they have Banco General, it's usually a brown card, and people use it to get money out of the ATM. You have seen people getting money out of the ATM, right? They usually use, you haven't, Sean? What kind of lives do you people, where do you live? It's usually when you get money out of the ATM is the cajero. When you get money out of the ATM, it's usually because you're using a debit card. The advantage of the debit card is that it's your money. It's not the bank's money, and the bank is not going to charge you interest for using the debit card. Okay? A lot of people have their debit card linked to their saving account. Okay, good. So, based on the little bit that I've told you until now, which would be the wisest choice of the two, the credit card or the debit card? Which is more intelligent to use? Which is the best idea, debit or credit?
Debit.
Debit. Good. A debit card is linked to a saving account. Now let's talk about the difference between a saving account and a checking account. Cuenta de ahorros y cuenta de chequera or cuenta corriente. What's the difference? Everybody knows what cuenta de ahorros is, right? What's a saving account? Cuenta de ahorros. What's that? Oh, come on, humans. You know what a saving.
Where you save money.
Okay, where you save money. Good. A lot of times, that's what companies use to pay the employee's salary. So the company opens an account for you, and the money goes directly into this saving account, and you get a debit card, tarjeta clave, and you take out your money with that. And you can even buy stuff with the tarjeta clave. So then what is a checking account with cuenta corriente or cuenta de chequera? What is that?
I heard that the cuenta de corriente is like for empresas, companies. I only heard that.
Okay. Everybody knows what a check is, right? You know what a check is? Un cheque? Yes? Okay. Whenever somebody writes a check, it's because they have a checkings account, cuenta corriente. So yes, usually it's empresas, but there are a lot of people who also have it. Sometimes they give you a debit card also, but it's usually for people who want to write checks. Okay, good. Okay, what is the advantage of saving your money? Because in Panama, people have the habit of saving. You've heard of ahorros navideños, right? But the bad habit that people have is that they save, and then when it's December, they take out all the money and buy Christmas stuff with it, which is what happened to a lot of people. They had their money in the bank, ahorros navideños, and then they used it up in January or December, and then Corona came in March, and boom. So tell me, what are some advantages? Each one of you give me one advantage of having money saved up in the bank. Come on, people, wake up. You're going to be adults in 2 seconds, you know. You need to know this stuff. What are the advantages of having money in the bank?
If you got fired, you can have money.
Perfect. Next person.
About a saving account.
Yeah, what's the advantage of having a saving account?
That you have control of the money.
Yes.
That
you don't have to use the bank's money.
Yes. The rest of you, what is the advantage of having a saving account? Isabella, Thomas, Daniela, Janice, what's the advantage of having a saving account?
You have money for your future problems.
Emergencies. Yes. Okay, people, where's the best place to save your money? In your house, in the refrigerator, or in the bank?
In the bank.
In the bank. And what's the advantage of saving your money at the bank versus putting it under your bed? What's the advantage?
More security.
Well, when you save your money at the bank gives you money. The bank pays you interest. Okay? Now remember what we said at the beginning. When you use the credit card, you pay the bank interest. When you have a savings account, the bank pays you interest. So if you have your money under your bed, you're not getting any interest. You might think it's safe, I don't know, but you're not. The money is not multiplying. If you have your money in the bank gives you. It's not a lot. It's 1 point something. It's not a lot, but it's better than under your mattress or in the refrigerator. Okay, so when should you start saving? You got to wait till you're 18, when you're 25, when you're 50. When do you start saving?
Right now.
Whenever you want.
What about the rest of you? When is it a good time to start saving?
As soon as you have spare money.
I think it depends on how's your lifestyle before you are like a grown up.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
From the childhood.
So the what? What were you saying, Sean?
From the childhood.
Yeah, you know something interesting about being a grown up? Whatever habits you have when you're a kid, you're just going to continue it when you're an adult. That's why a lot of people who don't have any money as adults, they didn't have any money as kids either. They just continue these habits. Of course you can change, but most people don't. People just continue doing the same thing. So if when you're a kid, you start the habit of saving your money, it means that when you're an adult, you're going to have more probabilities of saving your money. Okay? So you can start anytime. Now, Tomas said whenever you have spare money. Spare money. You can't wait until you have spare money to start saving. Even if you only have like $5, you can save 50 cents. Okay? Because when you say you wait till you have spare money, a lot of people are going to say, no me sobra. I don't know. So it's a habit that you have to develop. Even if you're only saving $1 every month, you should. Because no such thing as spare money. You're always going to find something to do with the money. Okay. Now, give me one reason, each of you, why you cannot completely depend on your salary only. Let's say you don't have a business, you have a salary. You work for a company that pays you a salary. Why is it dangerous to only depend on that salary?
You don't receive money instantly. So do you have to pay with caution?
Okay.
That if you got fired, you will not have money.
Mm-hmm. What else? Which is exactly what happened to a lot of people in March. They didn't really get fired. They just got placed like on hold, and most of them were not getting any money. What else? Give me one more. One more reason why it's not a good idea to only depend on your salary. In English, we call it living hand to mouth. Hand to mouth, meaning that as you get your salary on the 15th and by the 16th, you have no more money, and then you have to wait until the 30th, and on the 31st, you don't have any more money. It's called living hand to mouth. Why is that a bad idea?
First is because we can say that you enter the job just for money, but you don't like the work the work. It's not what do you want.
Mm-hmm. Okay, one more person. Okay, so if you cannot depend only on your salary, what else can you do? We already talked about saving, so I'm not mentioning, saving is not the answer I'm going for. If I'm telling you that it's not a good idea to only depend on your salary, the money that you get on the 15th and the 30th in most cases, then what other options do you have? Daniela, you're really silent. What other options do you have? Isabella, you too, start talking. The class is called oral skills, not silent skills. Let me repeat. If it's not a good idea to only depend on your salary, what other options are there?
A credit card.
Yeah, but we already talked about credit card and how dangerous that is, so that's not even on the table. What else can you do? It's called multiple income streams. Multiple streams of income, multiple income streams. And what this means is that you use your head and you figure out other ways that you can get extra money without necessarily using up more of your time. So think about this, people. You've seen this, you've heard this. What would be an idea of a multiple or an additional stream of income?
Selling my clothes.
No. No, thank you, Daniela, but no. We don't want anybody selling their clothes. No. It's, for example, and you have seen this, you have seen people do this. They have their job, but like on the weekends, they sell patacones con pescado in front of their house. That's an additional income. Or, since that takes up time, they have their job and then they have an Instagram store where they sell makeup or where they sell car seats or something like that. Why do people do this? Because you cannot only depend on your salary. Because anytime that salary disappears, because you get fired, because another COVID, because of whatever reason, you need to still have money coming in. Okay? Each one of you think, give me one idea of what could be a good source of additional income. I already gave you one, an Instagram store. What else could you do? Oh, she's home.
Sell I don't know, sell food in holidays when you know that people are around, and I think that's a good idea.
Yep. So if you like to cook, yes, selling food is definitely a good idea because people love to eat. What would be another idea of an additional income?
Raspaos.
Selling raspaos, yes, Isabella. But people, I want you to think of something that you could do that's not taking up your time. Because even though selling food is a great idea, it takes time to cook and to be out there selling it. What else could you do that's not going to take up your time, but it's still going to give you additional money? And no, comprando loteria is not the answer.
Selling drawings and painting.
Sure. That's a good idea. Tomas?
Playing
I don't know if
tournaments.
counts.
Okay, wait. What were you saying, Sean?
Playing tournaments in PlayStation and win money.
Okay, that's a good idea. Tomas?
I don't know if this counts because it's actually you're actually spending like a little money on it, like investing
Yeah.
small amount of money,
Invest in what?
small amounts of money, like
Sure.
$10.
Of course. Of course, because it makes no sense to have all the money sitting in the bank and you're not using it to make more money. Of course. Investing is a great idea. Okay, so usually an additional income has to do with selling something. But selling in such a way that you're not out on the street taking up your time. That's the reason why people have Instagram stores and people have websites where they can sell their stuff and they don't even have to be there. Or you can be at home sleeping and your stuff is just selling. This happens with music. It happens with books. For instance, I've written 16 books and I'm not walking around selling them, knocking on people's door like, buy my book, buy my book. Nope. They're on Amazon. People go to Amazon, buy my book, money comes to me. Yay! So that's also a great idea. There are people who develop apps. It takes a lot of time to develop the app, but once you get it sold or you get it up and running, people buy it from you, that's money coming in. So usually an additional income is something that's not really supposed to take up a lot of your time, but it takes time to create, and after you've created it, it just keeps giving money by itself. That's the direction that I want you to start thinking in from this age. Don't wait until you're, okay, when I'm 25, now I'm gonna start thinking about money. No, you gotta start doing that from now. Otherwise, you're just gonna grow up and repeat the patterns of the adults around you. Maybe you're lucky the adults around you were good with money, but maybe they weren't, and you want to do your own thing. So think about at your age, 13, 15, I don't know how old you are, what is something that you could create and you don't have to do it, we're just thinking. Something, a product that you could create that you could sell online and not have to worry about money coming in. I already gave you my idea, which is mine. What about you? What is a product that you could create and sell online? And no, you're not going to do it. It's not a project. We're just talking. Each one of you, tell me. Preferably something that you enjoy.
To make money.
Yes. A product or service that you can create and sell online.
Art.
Okay. Yes. Art. Isabela?
So I enjoy making masks and making scrunchies.
Okay, yeah. That sounds great. Sean?
I think that do cookies, cook cakes or donuts.
Okay. It's going to be a bit complicated to sell that online, but yeah, that could work. Tomás Carvajal?
Stop motion animation.
Okay. Yeah. Diego Lopez? You know what? Come on, you're smart. You have ideas.
I don't have ideas right now, teacher.
I'm going to come back to you. Daniela? A product or service that you could sell online.
This time are not my clothes, are clothes that I would buy to sell.
Okay, so clothes that you would buy to resell. Good.
Yeah.
Or you could actually design clothes. Janice?
Decorating t-shirts.
Oh, that's a great idea because people love t-shirts. Exactly.
Yeah.
And back to you, Diego Lopez.
Shoes.
Okay, that's a good idea. Now, people, at what age do you think it would be good for you to start setting up your online store? No, I'm not going to make you do it as a project. I'm just having you think. What age do you think would be a good age for you to set up an online store? Because, you know, if you set up an online store, even if you're in a university, even if you're working, whatever, the store is just doing its own thing. So it's not like you have to be there every day, 9 to 5, staring at your phone. What would be a good age to set up an online store?
15 or 16.
Mm-hmm. Everybody
14.
agrees? 18, Daniel says?
14.
14. Mm-hmm. Everybody agrees with that? 14, 15, 16? Yes? Okay. Do you think that at your age, it's important for you to know how money works?
Yes, for the future.
For the future or for now?
Two of them.
Mm-hmm. Because if you don't know how money works at this age, then you're going to make a whole lot of silly mistakes that a lot of adults make when they hit 18 or 19. So what I want you to do, which is not a project and it's not for a grade, I want you to constantly start thinking about ways in which you can start making money at your age. I don't mean go get a job, no, because legally you can't work until you're 18. But just think of ways in which you can start making money, not because you're going to do it, but because it's going to stretch your mind. And by the time you reach a certain age, you will have so many ideas that you are not going to have any trouble next time another pandemic hits. Okay? Now, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of times people your age think that you need to know exactly what you're going to study, what you're going to be when you grow up. You don't. You're kids. You can change your minds many times, okay? But what you cannot do is just sit down there and wait for 10 years. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Even if you don't have a clear idea of what you want to do when you grow up, at least you need to start moving in the direction of something, okay? Don't just sit there and waste time and become another nini. You know who the ninis are, right? You haven't heard about the ninis on the news? Oh my goodness, people, where do you live? The ninis are the people your age and older,
Ni
and they call
trabajan
them
ni
ninis.
estudian.
Exacto, ni estudian ni trabajan. Those are the ninis. You don't want to become a nini. So even if you don't have a clear picture of what you're going to do for the next 10 years of your life, at least you need to start moving in some direction. So I'm going to ask you for closing, I'm going to ask each one of you to tell me what general direction do you think you want to move. Now, I'm not asking you what you want to be when you grow up. You still got a few years to go. But in which direction are you moving? For instance, at your age, when I was your age, a long time ago, I knew I wanted to move in the direction of talking to people. Yes, I'm an extreme introvert, but I love to talk. I start talking, I just can't stop. I love talking to people. So my general direction was talking to people, encouraging people, inspiring people. And then I figured out what I wanted to do. So each one of you tell me, what's the general direction in which you think you want to start moving? Let's start at the top with Daniel.
Art. I am moving to the route, we can say, from the to the artist. I want to be an artist.
Perfect. Perfect. Isabella, what's your direction?
So I love to care about the people, so I want to be a doctor.
Okay, so you're moving in the direction of medicine.
Yes.
Good. Sean Foster?
I don't know why I wanna be, but I like to create and discover new things.
What kind of things? Like, what kind of things? Games, foods, shoes, hair?
I think games.
Mm-hmm. Tomás Carvajal?
Medicine.
Nice. Diego Lopez?
Graphic design.
Nice one. Daniela?
Medicine.
Good. Janice?
Justice.
Yeah, you're the politician. Yep.
Yep.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's very important that you have a direction that you want to move in. And it's also important for you to remember that you're a kid and you can change your mind at any point. If you want to study medicine today and in 2 weeks you wake up like, no, that's okay. It's okay to change your mind. What's not okay is for you to study something that you have no passion for, no interest in, simply because somebody told you that's what you're supposed to do. Let me tell you a secret. One of the most important things in life is learning how to be happy. Because when you are happy, then you can help other people be happy. Only people who are angry with their own lives are the ones that are making everybody else angry. So move towards the things that make you happy, the things that make you feel alive. Don't study something because everybody in your family studied it or because somebody told you it sounds cute with your name. Look for the things that make you happy and do those things. The world is already filled with angry, depressed, annoyed people. We don't need any more of them. Your most important goal is to find out how to be happy. Why? Because like I said, when you're happy, you're going to treat people better. You're going to feel better. Life is just going to be better. And nobody came to earth to have a hard time and to suffer. We didn't come for that. Okay, so I'm going to repeat the announcements that I gave at the beginning. Remember, I already have 2 of your projects. I'm missing 2 or 1. I'm missing 2. The deadline for this is today at midnight. And you need to send that to me at itmustbeenglish@gmail.com by midnight tonight. Okay? The ones that I have until now, I like. Wonderful. Already uploaded them to YouTube and they're on the school's YouTube channel and also on the school's Facebook. Second announcement. When you upload module 6, which is coming next week, last module, hallelujah. When you upload module 6, write for each subject, I think my appreciation grade should be blah, blah, blah. Don't forget that. Because if you don't tell me what you think your appreciation grade should be, I'm just going to make it up. And you might not like what I make up. So give me your own appreciation grade. So those are my 2 announcements. Do you have any questions? Ask me one question. Oh, come on, people. It's almost over. 1 more module to go and it's done. Look alive. Look happy. Like, woo, it's over. 2020 is almost over. Okay, no, Carvajal, I'm not convinced. One more question. Who has a question? About the projects, about the appreciation grade, about module 6. No questions? Everybody good? Oh, before we go, people, spelling module 5 is the use of the TH, which is, okay, you gotta do the, I need to hear the, don't be inventing words. I know some of the words are big, but I don't want you to read it as if it's a T. Oh, and another thing, the numbers are not 3, 13, and 23. There is no such numero árbol. 3. So start with and make sure you pronounce all those words correctly or I'm just going to send it back for you to do it over again. Okay, so this has been fun, people. See you next time. Can't wait to see your projects. Bye-bye.